you have these 72 seals. These 72 seals are symbols that represent 72 specific demons. Now, these seals are secret code on how to contact the specific demon. But only a sorcerer would be able to read the seal and understand what it is saying. A common person would see the seal and get nothing out of it. And so it's a deep thing I want you guys to grasp. Spirit summoning, this practice, of course, it was banned because it's an abomination. Being as though the practice was banned, so the seals were created to preserve the knowledge for the sorcerer or a superior class of people. And so I'm giving you a little history. Spirit summoning practices was banned, but the wisdom was stored in the seals, that being those weird symbols you guys see. And so it's a deep thing I want you guys to grasp. It took thousands of years to, remove the sacred arts, the spirit summoning practice wisdom from the minds of the common people. Meaning you had your Salem witch trials, and thousands of years before that, all the way when you go to the Bible, and they were trying to ban it with Saul and all of that. And so for millennia, they've been trying to ban the knowledge of spirit summoning. And so this is why you have the seals, meaning the seals hold the true wisdom of how to contact the spirit. But the common person would never understand it unless they was a sorcerer. In that, you get all the weird ideology that you have surrounding spirit summoning. But all of this is wrong. And so I want to explain to you guys how spirit summoning truly works. You have entheogens, which are psychedelics used in rituals, whether spirit summoning ritual or medical procedure, both being deemed a ritual. And so these entheogens, which are your psychedelics used in rituals, can be merged. This is where you get entheogenics, the merging of these different psychedelic drugs. Now, the effects of these entheogens, meaning the effects of these psychedelic drugs, are deliriant, psychedelic, anesthetic, stimulant, depressant, oneirogen, and entactogen. Now, entactogen is like giving you a sympathetic state, that empath state. And oneirogen, this is the lucid dream state. Stimulant, depressant, psychedelic, I suppose you guys know what those are. Now, you have angel's trumpet. This is a plant, of course. In the seed, leaf, and flower, you have tropane alkaloids. This is like scopolamine and atropine. This is a deliriant, meaning it causes one to lose their mind. Now you have African dream herb. This is an oneirogen, meaning it causes that lucid dream state. It's found in the seed itself. You have Bolivian torch cactus. There's mescaline in the stem. This is a psychedelic. You have bittergrass. This is an oneirogen. It has calycine in the leaf. You have henbane. There's there's tropane alkaloids in the seed, flower, and leaf. This is a deliriant. You have peyote cactus. This is a psychedelic. There's mescaline in the stem. Now, when you go to the animals, you have the bullet ant. It secretes ponera toxins. This is a deliriant. And of course, you guys know of the toad. It secretes DMT and bufotenin. You also have mushrooms like the panther cap mushroom. It's a psychedelic and a poison. You also have the psilocybin mushroom. This is a psychedelic as well. And so I'm just giving you an example of how these entheogens would have been gathered in the past. Of course, entheogens are psychedelic drugs used in ritual, not for medicine. Now, the hallucinogenic drugs that I just named are substances, and these substances have entity in it. Think like semen has entity in it. That part. All substance has the smaller level of life within it. All levels of life have the smaller levels of life within it. So molecule, which is a substance, has atoms, and all the smaller levels of life that fall beneath a molecule within it. Molecule being a substance. And so I'll say again, the hallucinogenic drugs are substances, and these substances have entity in it. So when you're drinking alcohol, which is a substance, that part. If you get a microscope within the substance, there's entity. Now the entity within the substance has a structure or a pattern. More than two substances or structures merged together makes a seal. Basically, a combination of drugs. And so I'll say again, look at the image. The hallucinogenic drugs, or the entity within them, have a structure or a pattern. And so that would be the structure or pattern of that drug. If you merge more than two together, you create a seal. That seal is letting you know which drugs it contains. Again, the seal is how you contact the entity. And so the seal, let's say the seal contained 5 different drugs. So you'd have 5 different structures merged together, creating that seal. The sorcerer or scientist would be able to discern what drugs that seal contains. That seal is an entity, meaning if you merge these 5 drugs together, it will take you directly to that entity. If you merge these 3 drugs together, it will take you directly to that entity. So that's how it works. Now, when you make a concoction, of course, of a specific drugs, you merge them together. 3 drugs will enter you into the realm of the spirits, meaning you can take DMT. This probably contains more than 3 hallucinogenics. And so when that people take DMT, sometimes they see entity, they speak to them, but these entities don't usually tell them their name or anything. It's just a bunch of weird creatures and entities. I mean like that. When you merge 3 different drugs together, it will bring you into that spirit realm. But the entity there, like your nobodies, the nameless. When you merge more than 3, now you're going into your ranks and names of the demons. lower rank, of course, but now you're getting somewhere. So let's say you merge 4 different drug substances together. It will take you to a specific entity. Meaning when you use the drug, psychedelic. And so you will meet a specific entity if the right concoction is made. Meaning the right 4 drugs are merged together will take you to that entity. This entity may be a low-ranking spirit. Now, 6 to 8 drugs merged together. This will take you to your high-ranking spirits. So 3 to 6 will take you to your low-ranking spirits. They have names. They know what they know. Below 3, so you just in spirit realm tripping. You get it? 3 to 6, you in your low-ranking spirits. They have names. Things is a little clearer. They're speaking to you. 6 to 8 drugs merged together. Now you're dealing with your high-ranking spirits. When I say rank, I mean like king, prince, duke, earls. These demons fall in titles and ranks. And so if you're merging 6 to 8 substances, hallucinogenic of course, the proper concoction that the seal is saying, you will, meet that entity. Now, if you merge more than 9, or 9 is usually the limit, but if you merge 9 or more, so this brings you to your highest demon or spirit, this being the goddess. Most people die, though, before they reach that. Meaning, merge 9 hallucinogenics, good luck. But, grasp. This is the goal in the spirit summoning world of old. In today's times, people do not have the true wisdom. They think it's something else. But if you're following, you can grasp. It goes deep. And so the drugs you guys flirt around with, like Molly. Molly is like LSD and MDMA. I forget the exact concoction. But Molly is a concoction of hallucinogenics. Not enough for you to get to low-ranking spirits, but they be off in La La Land. And so you have to grasp. Now, of course, all Molly doesn't have the same mixture, but I'm giving you an example how our scientists, or how modern day is playing with things it truly doesn't understand. Being as though we think spirit summoning is something else. Can you see how y'all are like going right into the times of old, where people are invoking the spirits? And so, of course, like I said, mixing 9 hallucinogenic drugs, the specific concoction that the seal says will bring you to the top deity. Most die before they ever even get there, meaning merge 7 of them things and die. When you're dealing with these drugs, or when you're dealing with spirit summoning, which is truly, dealing with the concoction of these drugs in your mind. So most people lose it, or die from health complications. We're speaking drug use. And so it's a deep thing I want you guys to grasp. When you're dealing with drugs, I want you to look at it like, when you take drugs, it's alerting the body that you are sick. Or at least you think you are. And so the body works to fight that sickness off. If you take drugs every day recreationally and you're not sick, so the body doesn't know. All the body knows is you're taking drugs, you're sick. And so the body will fight off sickness. If there's none there, the body will fight off the health. And so this is what happens when one is using drugs recreationally, as opposed to using it when they're sick and then getting off it. And use the drug repeatedly, the body starts to eat away at itself because the body is fighting an imaginary sickness. It doesn't know you just like to get high. It doesn't know you just like to always be healed, even before you're sick. So it's a deep thing. A lot of you guys on a health trip. You're seeking like what's the healthiest way to eat and live, and you're moving around like someone who's sick already. And so you're going to create or manifest your own sickness. Worry about sickness when you are sick. There's no need to prepare your table for the worst, because he who prepares his table for the worst will receive what he prepped for. And so you don't want to prepare for the worst. There's no need for you to be looking for health because you're not sick. It's no need to even play on it. It's no need to even acknowledge unhealthiness until you're there. I know many of you guys will say, man, you need to be aware of things beforehand. Not health. Health is a matter of the mind. If you're seeking health, you're subconsciously telling the mind we're sick. And so grasp. You are causing the immune system to eat away at itself. Are you? Because it thinks you're sick. It doesn't know you're just prepping for this imaginary sickness that you might catch. And so, wisdom's a deep thing. Take your time learning. I know most of you guys watch this video. I'm not sure how many of you guys grasp. This is just a skit of the real video. And so I don't want you guys to get lost. I know a lot of you guys hear things. You think, I get it. And then take your time, because you've truly gotten nothing out of this video. But just enough to grasp the path that we are on. And so I'll give you an example, because I didn't even get into the sex magic part of it. Meaning when you're dealing with the top spirit, this is where sex comes into play. Meaning when you're summoning your highest deity, sex is always in the play. Why? You have semen. Within that semen, of course, you have your fallen souls. These being your highest rank, though. These being your jackal that represent, the goddess or the devil, the top demon. And so it goes deep when you're dealing with the sex magic. You have to understand a woman's moon cycle, this being her menstrual cycle, but it correlates with the moon. You have to have an understanding of the different effects these drugs have on the mind at different times of the day. Meaning, it's more than just mixing the proper concoction of drugs, but you have to know the time of day, the effect that it's going to have on the mind at your 4 different times of day, that being morning, afternoon, evening, and night. And so some of these seals, these being the demons that you're contacting, so you have to take the substance at morning, at dusk, dawn, different times. But all these different things have to be known. And so if you're someone who likes to indulge in this practice, and you've been doing it the wrong way all this time, and now you're like, finally I got a breakthrough on how to do it. Don't do it. Because I haven't fully explained anything yet. Like I said, this is just a skit. A quick summary. I'm going through a conscious cleansing, so I'm kind of just relaxing. Adjusting the self. It's a deep thing. But wisdom is a balance. You have to stay balanced. Fair in your ways. All praises to the horizon. Salam, shalom.
Spartans do. We're cruel to reject you. But I am kind. Everything you can